Alright, welcome back to the channel, and I remembered to unmute my mic this time. Getting better, but slightly different today. As you can see, we're already in the plane and we're already in the air. So, the idea for tonight's stream is just to do a couple of chilled flights on FSEconomy. I've just got to haul some building materials around, building an FBO in South Africa, and I've got a couple of passengers to move around as well, so that's what we're going to do. Very chilled. We're on our way to Maputo in the Cessna 208 Caravan, where we're essentially going to spend the night and then carry on again in the morning, so we'll fast forward the time and ship some building materials from Maputo over to Carolina in South Africa. It's about a half-an-hour flight, and then we're going to fly some passengers from Skakuza to various places, probably in the DA62. I think that's the plane that I have there, but I'll double check that for you just now. K-Sizzle says, hey, thanks for tuning in as always. Hope you are doing very well and you are having a fantastic, very hot Saturday evening. But thanks for joining us in the 208 Caravan. So we're about 12 minutes from Maputo. So what I thought I would do is I'm going to try and do an ILS arrival into Maputo, because I never actually do that in the kind of GA aircraft. I don't know if you count a Caravan as GA? I guess not really, I suppose, because it's commercial operations, I guess, but you know what I mean, the smaller planes. When we're flying airliners, we're doing ILS approaches all the time. But I'm going to try to do that in the Caravan tonight, because it's something that I don't do very often. So, the first thing I need to do is, which is not always particularly easy in Flight Sim, is just to get the weather. No, I doubt we're going to pick up the airport. Oh, there we go. Okay, we are close enough. So, let's see what runway they give us, so we can start setting up for that. Hello? Can you answer me? Thank you. So let's see what they say. Runway 23. Holy moly, the wind's 104 at 21 knots. Oh, great. Okay, well that's gonna be loads of fun. 21 knots. Crosswind. Okay, that's going to be interesting. But let's see. Okay, so we're doing runway 23. So let's see what we have in terms of procedures into Maputo. Are they actually going to give us anything? So let's do approach. So we have a DME, we've got an RNAV 23. So it looks like there is no ILS for runway 23, so there goes that plan out of the window. Right, so never mind. no ILS arrival, but let me check something else. How do I get out of this menu now? Well, I'm going to select that anyway. Wait, let's do this. I just want to see this one. Okay, so they do have a bunch of like stars, but there's no... It's weird, I thought they would have an ILS, but anyway. So we're gonna do the RNAV. Like, am I just being dumb and not seeing it? No, there is only 4DME and RNAV 23, so I guess that's our option. Right, now, the next question is, how do I get this to work? Because sometimes messing around with the GPS like this makes Flight Sim rather unhappy. So I guess we should probably put in minimums. I don't think we can, unless we have to enter minimums on this side. This is something that I never use. So somewhere in here, obviously not there. Yeah, there we go. Can I actually change it? Sick. So we'll do 200. It's pretty normal. And let's turn it on. Right, so that's done. How do I get this to go away? Cool. Minimum set. Does that actually... It doesn't even pick it up. Anyway, moving on. Okay, let's... before we do that, because this tends to cause the whole GPS navigation to freak out, so let's synchronize our heading and just go heading hold so this doesn't break anything. And let's activate that approach. Okay, so we're coming in from the top, and then let's kind of head out that way towards... We've obviously got to... There we go, that's exactly what we're going to do. Right, so this should now fly us and put us perfectly lined up for runway 23. We don't have an ILS. I'm actually going to double check that. I thought Maputo had an ILS. Let's see. So it's FQMA. I'm going to have a look at the airport information. Oh yeah, we're cruising. We're supposed to have chilled music. There we go. Right, so I'm just looking online. Maputo. Huh, no ILS. Right, well, there goes that plan. Okay, so we're not doing ILS, we're doing RNAV. Anyway, that's cool. So, how do I know? I guess I'd have to get a chart. To know what altitudes I need to be at each of these waypoints, because this system I don't think is going to tell us altitudes, is it? No. It has a place for them, so I'm pretty sure in the real Garmin system it would actually tell you there, but obviously the Garmin GPSs are still being worked on for flight sim. So let me see if I can find a chart that tells us. Not seeing any charts. Let's try. Okay. Right, how far are we? About 8 minutes to our next waypoint. I'm going to start bringing the speed down a little bit because we are quite fast. So that'll give us some time to figure out what we are doing. Right, I think I might have found a chart. So, wait, so the charts have an ILS approach for runway 23, so I wonder if that's changed, if that doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, there's an ILS. 110.30. Okay, we'll try that. We'll set 110.3 and see if we can actually pick up an ILS there. But what we do want is RNAV 23. There. Which is this guy. Okay. Let me see if I can share that with you. Well, not if. Let's do that. Okay, so it is this window. Why is it not working? Okay, that's not what I wanted. Right, so let's do window capture. And there's our charts window. Right, that's what I wanted. And let's put that up there. Okay, so Let's do that. And now I can have a look at this and see. Let's turn this music down a little bit. That's a lot. Right, let's see on the chart now. So, we've got Zagor and Zagva. Okay, Zagor, do they give us an altitude? Yes, 1,900 feet all the way to Zagot, and then we should intercept the ILS there because I think it does exist. Right, so we want to descend to 1,900 feet and be level at 1,900 at, I guess, at Zagva already, because we have 1,900 there, so I think we'll do 1,900 all the way, or already at Zagva, so that means we need to start ascending now. Let's do that, and we'll do our descent. Let's do 1,500, bring the power back. Right. So we'll be 1,900 feet at Zagor. We'll maintain that to Zagor, and then we start our descent. So let's see if we can pick up the ILS, because I think it does exist. Alright, is there anything else we need to know here? So our decision height, our minimum should actually be 570 feet. We set 200, so let's go and adjust that. Oh wait, we don't have VNAV, so 550. Why is it less? Interesting. Okay, so 550 minimums. That is set. Right, let's stitch that. And you guys don't need to see that anymore either. Okay. Stop flashing, thank you. Right. Let's now put in nav 1. So that's here. 110. Oops, decimal 3, like so. That's not what I, oh, there we go, that is what I wanted. Cool, it is picking up the ILS, so I don't know why the approach doesn't have any ILS options on it, but anyway, we're going to use the ILS after all that. But I can't switch over to our VOR system, which is what we will use for the ILS, because I'm still following the GPS here, so we're still on the magenta needle. So once we get a bit closer, actually once we line up at Zagor, I will switch into heading mode and switch this over to our VOR, and then we can use that to follow the ILS, pick up the glide slope and the localizer down to the runway. Right, I think we are prepped then. Okay, I do like how Microsoft Flight Simulator does the cities at night. Like, you can actually see the area lighting up like it does with the city lights. Yeah, talking about lights, are all my lights set? Yeah, they are. Right, so we're about 3 minutes from Zagva, and then we will start our right-hand turn to begin lining up with the runway. Okay, so you guys are seeing it first here on stream. We are doing ILS approach in the caravan. Oh, is my camera frozen? Oops. I'm a baddie. Fixed it. I know how to stream. Alright, so there comes our glide slope is alive, which is good. It means the ILS is working. And we're coming up to 1,900 feet. just before we perform our right-hand turn. So that's all good. Let's put in a little bit of power so that we can level off without losing too much speed. Okay, there's 1900 feet. Damn, did I miss a technical difficulty? Yeah, when I was bringing up the charts window, I by mistake minimized my capture window for the camera, and then it freezes the frame when it's minimized. I have to keep it open, so just made a mistake. I know it's terribly disappointing, but yeah, you missed it. You were too late. But welcome to the stream, Jason. As always, we are doing my first ever ILS approach in Microsoft Flight Simulator in the caravan, in the dark, into Maputo, which is over there somewhere behind us. You have faith in me, but you may be a bit biased. I should hope so. Sometimes I wonder why you believe in me, because I do some pretty interesting things, but I'm glad that you always have faith in me. Okay. Why is the glide slope in the middle? That isn't normal. That's a bit worrying. That should have gone up, because all the way out here, especially according to that chart, we should be above the glide slope. So that's a little bit concerning. Maybe it's not working because we're facing the wrong way. I don't think that's how it's supposed to work, but we'll see. We're going to turn right now pretty soon, hopefully. There we go. It's the backwards cap that just inspires confidence. It's my new cap that I got for Christmas, okay, so I want to wear it. Don't make fun of it. Just wanted to look cool on stream, and then now you make me feel self-conscious. Okay. We are starting our turn. Once we line up with that second waypoint, I'm going to ditch the GPS and switch over to VRR and see if we actually are picking up the localizer correctly. I'm a little bit worried that it's not really working because of that glide slope sitting in the middle. It shouldn't be in the middle. You do look cool. I wasn't being sarcastic. See, now I don't know. It could go either way. So if you weren't being sarcastic, thank you. If you were, thank you anyway. Okay, let's just check our altimeter is correct, which it isn't. What the hell was that? There's some sort of horrendous situation going on outside my room, but we're gonna just ignore it and do our ILS approach. Right. Okay, now we're turning over to that next waypoint. That's perfect. Glide slope's still not moving. I don't know if the ILS is gonna work. We'll keep an eye on it. Okay, I'm going to start bringing the power back a little bit more. The other thing I'm going to do to prepare for our arrival is just put our prop back to 100%. There's the city lights of Maputo. Now, it's the Spaz Cat outside your window. No, it's all my sister's friends arriving home. Isn't it like after curfew? Oh no, it's only after 8, sorry, I thought it was after 9. They all just got home, so I don't know what they're doing, but they're very loud. Okay. So proper RPM is around 1900, that's perfect. Everything else is in the green. We've got barely enough fuel. So what I'm actually doing is, in FSEconomy, I'm building another little terminal at a small little airport in Carolina. And so I'm shipping out building materials, and I want to carry as much as possible because we've got to do this like 10 or 11 times. So I'm putting in as little fuel as I can, just enough to make it from Maputo, where the building materials are, back to Carolina and back again with just enough fuel to make it. As you can see, we've got that right. Yeah, Katie, you know who's here. The circus. How old is she? She's 2 years younger than me. Mosquitoes, please, not now. Busy. Okay, we are finally starting to line up, so we're going to bring off a little bit more power. Can we see the airport? No. Any runway lights? No? Oh, I hope it has runway lights. Oh wait, no, there it is there. Yes, okay, we can see it. Okay, we still got quite a way to go. As you can imagine, these RNAV approaches, well, all of the approaches really are designed more for the airliners. So we're taking a huge kind of run up to the airport, I guess. We're far away for this little plane, but it's cool. I want to follow the procedure because we never do that in the smaller aircraft. Right, what are we? 142 knots. That's fine for now. I'm at about 48% throttle. Okay, that is still a bit worrying. I don't think the INS is going to work. Is that we should be way over the glide slope at the moment. However, maybe... Oh no, I'm just an idiot. So, it's still trying to pick up the VNAV for our GPS, which we don't have because there's no altitudes entered in for this procedure. So when I switch over to the VOR as the input for our navigation, hopefully that fixes that. Okay, which we can do very soon. We're just kind of leveling out in this turn. A little bit more turn to the right. I don't know if you guys were here when we spoke about the weather, but we've got a beast of a crosswind at Maputo, so this is probably going to be fairly interesting. Actually, let's look at the Cessna's 208 Max crosswind limitation. It might be more, I mean, it might be less than 20 knots. I don't know if we can even... Okay, max crosswind 20. Oof. Oops. My girlfriend just flew Joburg to Doha, Doha to Edinburgh. Was that probably Qatar? At least Joburg to Doha will be Qatar. Doha to Edinburgh, probably also Qatar most likely. How was it? And why didn't she take you with her? Okay, let's go into heading mode. Let's switch this over to VOR. Ha! Our glide slope has sorted itself out, so we are good. I apologize for the noises outside. Okay, let's then enter. Yeah, let's do approach mode. So we'll let the autopilot take over following the localizer, and it'll intercept the glide slope as that comes down. We are level at 1900, passing Zagor, which is exactly where we're supposed to be. Let's... Actually, I'm going to keep the speed up until we see our glide slope start coming down. Okay, so... Is there any way to get Weather update? Not really, no. Huh. Because I want to know if we still got a 21 knot crosswind. Yeah, it was going to be Doha Heathrow, Heathrow Aberdeen, but Heathrow was with BA and they kept cancelling flights, so she took Qatar to Edinburgh instead. Nice. I mean, I've never flown on Qatar, but I've only ever heard and seen good things about Qatar, so hopefully it was good. Most likely, if she flew Joburg to Doha, would have probably been a 787, maybe a 777. Right. Okay, so we're still above the glide slope. I'm going to start bringing the power back anyway, so we can start doing things like flaps. Why was BA cancelling flights? Oh, I guess because of the lockdown there in the UK, I suppose. Like, there's been a whole lot of flights here that have been not necessarily cancelled, but shifted around as well, so yeah, it's a bit of a stuff up. I would have thought she's extremely fussy about food, and she said the food was great. Every passenger had their own row. That's awesome, and that's the kind of thing that I always hear about Qatar. So I'm not surprised to hear that. That sounds about right, especially with the food. I've only ever heard good things about Qatar's food. Okay, there comes the glide slope. Right, we're in the white arc now, so let's go flaps 1. Our prop RPM is set to 100%. Bring the speed down a little bit more. There we go, intersecting the glide slope. So let's bring the power back. Okay, lights are all checked. Okay, more. Back on the power. Right, so the autopilot is following that glide slope at the moment. Let's see. Wind. Option 3. 13 knot tailwind. So it seems it may have shifted from what was reported. There's our outer marker. So hopefully, I mean, now we're showing a tailwind. Okay, there we are. Okay, 119 at 17. Right, so we're within our crosswind limit, but if it's 119, it's more of a... No, 119 isn't a tailwind. That would be a slight headwind, mostly a crosswind. But our plane is telling us up here we're still getting a bit of a tailwind. So this is going to be interesting. Let's go flaps full. Lots of drag. That last notch of flaps, and we'll do about 75-80 knots on the approach. Okay, wind feels like it's shifting around a little bit, so let's see if our wind that the aircraft is picking up actually matches the wind on the runway. So they're telling us 119 at 17 on the runway. At the moment our plane is picking up the wind at 89 degrees 11 knots, which doesn't match. Obviously we're still 700 feet in the air, so the wind can change pretty significantly as we get to the ground. But let's see, because it's looking very far off. Anyway, let's turn off the music so we can hear the screaming better. Ooh, okay, there we're starting to crab a little bit now. Okay, I think it's time to jump in and take control ourselves. So, autopilot off, and we are now hand flying. Looking at the puppy lights on the right, 2 red, 2 white is exactly what we want. That means we're on the glide slope. And now I'm not really worried about the ILS anymore. Ooh, there's a bit of a bump. I am just gonna do this visually pretty much, mostly with the puppy lights. Okay, we're a little bit high, but that's actually not a problem because this is a long runway. Sure, okay, it is fairly bumpy. I'm still looking at that wind on our PFD. It hasn't shifted all the way to 119 degrees. So ATC is lying to us, according to the plane. Right, I don't mind touching down further down the runway because it is a long runway. I don't really want to have to taxi all the way in. Right, let's come off the power and we'll just set it down as gently as we can. Okay, we got a massive tailwind according to the aircraft, which is not what ATC said would happen. There we go. And big rudder inputs, almost at full rudder deflection to try and keep it straight. Let's dump the flaps so that the wind affects us a little bit less. Right, and we survived. No screaming. Okay. Could have taken that taxiway, but there's no one behind us, so I'm not too stressed about staying on the runway. Right, what does our wind say? 99 at 18 knots. Not anything like what Tower gave us on our approach, but anyway. Right, let's take the next taxiway here. Should be coming up fairly soon. We're going to go over to the little cargo terminal, which is kind of over there somewhere. But I need a taxiway, please. Please. Taxiway. Any taxiway. I wonder if there are... Let's go over to the side of the runway. Because maybe there is a taxiway that just isn't all over its operations, and it's not marked with blue lights, like such. That's what we wanted. Okay, where's the actual... Oh geez, I don't know if this is... Oh no, this is another runway. That's not good. That's a little bit naughty. Probably shouldn't have done that. Okay, but the place that we're going is down this way. Oops. There's the blue light taxiway that we should have joined, but it was way down the runway. So, SOS rules. Yes, I'm contacting ground. Just give me a chance. So we go across the grass here somewhere, if I remember. Probably in the completely wrong place. But we can go onto this little, like, dirt strip. And then there should be concrete apron over here. We're gonna go ahead and ignore ground. They're not gonna know where we want to go anyway. Let's turn the strobe lights off. That's where we want to go. Oh, sorry. Getting in trouble. Air traffic control. We were supposed to go this way. Okay, we'll just say yes, and then we won't do that. If you're wondering if this is how you taxi in real life, that would be a hard and definitive no. Okay, somewhere here is the little cargo terminal that we go to pick up our building materials. It's this one here. We follow this random little strip. I've only done this 6 times already. And then we go, if there's no planes here, we can kind of get in on this side. Otherwise, yeah, there's no plane here. So we can take this funny little strip over here. Like so. And the doors on the caravan are on the left-hand side, if I remember correctly. So we're gonna turn around. More than that. That's better. Watch me hit that building and die. That didn't happen. Good. Not at all. IRL, one would be drifting, right? I mean, not ideally. Not that it's impossible. Especially when it's icy. But no. IRL, we would want to stay on the road. On the taxiway. Cool. Let's end that flight. So FSEconomy has picked up that we are here, and we'll just pull the control column off because that's a thing you can do. Okay, I was joking, you can't do that in the real plane. Right, so throttles all the way back. Let's go mixture to cutoff, and that will shut down the engine. We'll also just go fuel cutoff for good measure. That's not the view I wanted. Right, fuel selectors both off. And we can turn off the avionics 1 and 2, and that's gonna end our flight, but we'll just say continue. Oh, massive lag there. Hooks. Right, lights. That can all stay like that. Those can come off. And battery, it's not that switch, it's that one. And in Flight Sim we get our little headlamp when we turn off all the lights. Cool, so that is the end of our first leg, which you joined us on halfway through. But now what we're going to do is spend the night here at Maputo. So I'm going to leave the stream now until tomorrow, and you can watch this plane sit here overnight. Cool. See you tomorrow morning. No, I'm kidding. We're just going to cheat. Let's do a nice early morning. We'll start off 4:45 in the morning. How about that? Okay, there we go. Welcome back. We've had a good night's sleep. That was great. Plane is still here in the same place. Our headlamp is still on. That's how you know you're winning. Cool. Now, actually, let me just go into FSEconomy quickly and refuel the plane, because otherwise we're not gonna make it. Because we landed with 7% fuel. Oh, my calculation was just perfect. So I know that we need 145 gallons. I did this calculation the other day. Like I said, to build a terminal in FSEconomy, we need 22,000 kg, so 22 tons of building materials in FSEconomy, and on this plane we can carry 1,400 at a time. So we have to do like 16, 17 legs from here to Carolina to build our new little terminal. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 left to go. So yeah, we're not going to do all of those on the stream, I can guarantee you that. We're going to do one leg back to Carolina, however you say it. And then we will do some other... Hello? They've even got masks on. And no tail number. Goodbye. How cool am I? I've got the test livery for FS 2020 because I was part of the alpha and beta testing. How cool am I? It's not like there's like 10,000 people that have that. Just look at it. Look at it. Okay, moving on. Batteries on. Let's turn on the avionics. Let's start our FSEconomy flight, because that is the thing that I always forget to do. Should see the aircraft rock a bit as we load our 1,400 kgs of building materials. That was very quick. Well done to the ground crew. Very efficient. I like it. That's not what I wanted. Please go away. Thank you. Right. Now, generally what we would do is set up our departure airport and our arrival airport. However, the last few times... Thank you. The last few times I've done that, it's crashed the game. So we're not going to do departure and arrival. We're just going to do a direct to... Where are we going? Carolina, which is FA... C... L. Where does L come in the dictionary? After I think. But I'm pretty sure it's before P, so... There it is. Got it. Nailed it. Dictionary it up in this joint. Okay. Avionics is on. Batteries on. Let's do... Fuel pumps. 1 and 2. Well, actually left and right. Let's turn off the fuel shutoff. We'll go mixture. Actually, let's do low idle for our taxi so that we don't have to fight it with the brakes. Right, and then fuel boost is on normal. That's actually fine. I think in real life you'd turn that to on, but doesn't actually do anything in this plane. So let's turn on the starter. And that should fire up our engine. Okay, ITT is coming up, torque is coming up, RPM is coming up, oil pressure, oil temperature is already in the green, oil pressure is now in the green, fuel's loaded. We'll give that a moment to stabilize. We should have turned these lights on before we did that. Bad, 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 bad. Fired. Okay, no smoking and seatbelt signs. We'll turn on the cabin lights so they can see what they're doing. Oh wait, no. Why the hell are we doing that? We're carrying building materials. They don't need to see anything. Let's save some electricity. Building materials don't have eyes. Right. Starter can come off now because our engine is stable. Let's go flaps 1 for takeoff. Let's actually speak to the ground now. Speak to the ground. I mean, speak to the ground controller. And we are departing to that way. Northwest. Now we shall eat west. See, rail pilot. No, not a rail pilot. That's probably why. Okay, departing to the west. Here we go. I don't know why this takes so long, but we'll wait for them to actually listen to us. Okay, you are facing Maputo. Maputo ground. Two tree. Okay, we're going to. I didn't listen to the taxiway, and I see what you guys have done. Oh, 2-3 using 2-8 and alpha. That's easy. Okay, so please stay facing the other way because I'm about to blind you with the taxi light. Right. Okay, I think we're ready to go.
Taxi to and hold short runway 23 via taxiway
23.
cross runway 28 Alpha Cessna 5 Yankee Zulu Bravo Whiskey.
Okay, parking brake off. And let's roll. Mr. Fuel Truck, you don't roll, just stay there. Good. Good man. Right, here we go on our morning flight back to Carolina. Hope you guys are all doing well, having a good Saturday evening. As always, it's hot as hell here. Mostly because of my graphics card that's pumping out 80 degrees of air into my room. But we'll ignore that. Why are your avionics on when you just parked there? That's weird. Okay, don't miss the turn, don't miss the turn. Oh, see, this is why I need a co-pilot. Get distracted. Right, there's an Airbus, there's another little DA-20. Okay. I think we should actually just go this way. Actually, no, we're supposed to go this way. Oops. Charts for who? I think I may have just made a mistake anyway. No, see, we can go across there. I mean, I'm 98% sure we're not following the taxi instructions that we were given. Strobes on to cross the runway. See, I know rules. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is not the taxi instructions that we were given, but it'll work. Okay, strobes can come off. My word, where does this actually go? Oh, jeez, this is not a... Yeah, you see, we made a mistake. This is a caravan, it's made to go on the grass. It's a bush plane, it'll be fine. Yeah, normally I try to do things pretty seriously, but obviously not tonight. 2021, new year, No rules. No rules in flight sim streaming. Okay, no, that's not the case. When we get back into explaining, we do airliners and stuff properly. We'll do rules. Tonight we're just doing chilled FS economy flights, and we've got lots of building materials to carry, so we don't have time to follow procedures. Right, where does this actually go? Because the taxiway is over there. Looks like it goes all the way to the end. I mean to the end of the Earth, because the Earth is flat. These damn game developers that make the Earth round. Spreading their lies. I don't know if I should say stuff like that on the internet, because a lot of people don't understand sarcasm. Especially the way I say it. I can say anything with a straight face. Okay, here's a little taxiway from this hangar thing that we can take to get onto the rail taxiway. You're gonna go on the rail taxiway where the airliners go. I wanna be a rail plane. Okay, I most decidedly don't need the whole runway, so I'm gonna take off from here. You're anti-vax too, bro. Wow, sold flat earther. Yeah, you don't know what's in that coronavirus vaccine. Right, crossing the hold short point. Landing lights on, strobe lights on, and check right, check left. Looks good. I wonder where that little diamond that powered up, where it went. Oh no, we can't actually take off from here because this isn't actually the runway. I'm not doing well tonight, eh? We're gonna have to go. Oh no, it is. I'm just an idiot. Okay, we'll give us ourselves a little bit more runway because language. Yeah, vaccinations give you autism. Don't do that. That was sarcasm, just to clarify. Okay. Enough talking about random crap. Let's do flying. Okay, we're gonna turn around here. Look at that turning circle. Cessna 208. Right. We should go condition high idle, prop RPM 100%, flaps 1 for takeoff. That all looks good. We don't need the inverter. Where the hell's the inverter gone? There. Because we are on a tar runway, asphalt runway. It's not a dirt strip, so we don't need that. Right, let's go. So there's the ITT coming up. Let's push it up until we hit the prop governor, which is about there somewhere. And then we'll just watch the torque. Don't go into the red. Right, power set. Oh yeah, I forgot about the massive crosswind. Oof. It is... I mean, I'm holding my rudder almost fully right to keep us straight because of that crosswind. Which is definitely not coming from 119 degrees, but anyway. Oh, there we go. There's the crosswind. Right, keep us straight. Let's do the trim. Yeah, not a bad takeoff considering... What is it at now? 18 knots. We're 2 knots under the limit of this aircraft. Oh yeah, we didn't actually tell them we were going to take off. That's all good. What doesn't sound good? What did I do wrong? Okay, let's start our right turn. We'll drop the nose a bit to bring up the speed. Nice early morning departure. Okay, we're above 80 knots. Flaps up. Keep the trim in. We'll put the trim in so we keep the nose up. And we're looking for about 95 to 100 knots on the climb. Alright, let's pull. Holding the thing all the way to one direction. Well, so that's the whole crosswind limitation. So now we're going to stop talking crap and get a bit serious here for a bit. Wait, before I get serious, let's put on the autopilot so I can actually talk about the things. Oh no. Oh no. Go away. Oops. Why are we falling over to the left? Okay, so that needs to be on GPS. That needs to be on nav. That needs to... We need to dial this up to... we're going west, so west is best, which means even, so we're doing 8500. That probably made no sense to anyone, but it made sense to me, and that's what counts. Okay, so we'll do flight level change, and we'll dial this up to 100, and we will follow the GPS route. Okay, so the crosswind limitation of a plane, I mean, to put it very simply, there's a whole bunch of factors that actually go into calculating it, but very simply, with the rudder authority that the aircraft has, you have enough rudder to hold your aircraft straight up to a certain crosswind strength. So basically that's part of the calculation that goes into determining the crosswind limitation for each aircraft, and each aircraft will have a published crosswind limitation. And so the Caravan is limited to 20 knots. 20 knots is the max crosswind that you can operate, that you can take off or land the Caravan in. And so with us at 18 knots, we're within the limit, but it makes sense that we're just on the limit of the rudder. So I wasn't quite using full right rudder. It was just below, and that makes sense because I guess at 21 knots, you would be pretty much full rudder deflection, so that does kind of make sense. So yeah, we were within the limits, and the landing was fine as well. But I'm talking about the takeoff now. The takeoff was fine, no worries. We kept it straight. Okay, we can just leave that as it is because we're staying below 10,000 feet. Right, our ITT is a little bit high. Let's pull the throttle back a bit. Right, and we are on our way with almost 1.5 tons of building materials for our new terminal at Carolina. Foxtrot Alpha Charlie Lima. Passing through 3,200 feet. Let's turn on the treffs. And we are nicely maintaining 100 knots. What are we doing? 850 feet per minute climb. That's perfect. We'll sync our heading just in case something goes wrong with our GPS, and we can just quickly put it into heading mode without making any abrupt? Why can't I speak? Abrupt turns. Maybe you're right, Jason. Maybe I should just stream without saying anything, because I can't even speak English as it is. Okay, building materials, how are you doing back there? All good? Good news. Okay. Some clouds up ahead, so we're gonna check out our weather map. And nothing serious on that. Let's go back to... That's not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. And that's also not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. Alright, no significant weather up ahead as far as we can see for now. We're going all the way over there to Carolina. There's a little bit of weather up there. There's Kruger, that's in Mpumalanga's airport. There's Hoedspruit. So Kruger National Park is up there. This is Swaziland. I don't think it's called Swaziland anymore. What's it called now? I can't remember. Not because mouth am dumb. Oh, because you get tired of speaking. I just missed that comment. Not because mouth am dumb. Yeah, I don't know about that. Slicking the gin. You have the gin, so I feel like that's not happening. Right. So we're going in between, or underneath this little patch of weather up towards Kruger. Well, no, not really. Kruger's over there. There's a little patch down there, but none of that is an issue for us. So weather looks good so far. Nice early morning, sunrise. Why am I seeing clouds that aren't on here? I guess it might be that over there. You don't have the gin. Oh, well, I don't have it either. Didn't we finish it? Feel like we finished it. Anyway, my point is, I'm not slicking the gin. Thank you very much. Jason has the gin. There we go. I knew it was somewhere safe. Right. We did finish it. Yeah, and then I bought a new one and gave it to Jason. Because he was so kind enough to print my label. Oh, I didn't print my label. I need that for next week. You see, Jason, I'm taking the gin back. You had one job. Oh man, I was supposed to do that this week. I wonder if I can just time you out. Put user in timeout. There we go. Didn't print label. No, I won't do that. But I could. Right. Sunrise looks good. Nice views. Did I put the flaps up? I did, eh? Yeah, I did. I know what I'm doing. What keys did I set on my keyboard for moving my view around? I wanna... Oh, jeez, that's not what I wanted. Oh no, I've broken it. Never mind, I'm back in the plane. We got this. Because that's up and down, left and right. What did I make forward and backwards? Why am I like this? Okay. I thought it was this, but it's not doing anything. Awkward. See, this is because I've been flying X-Plane. I haven't been in Flight Simulator since Christmas Eve. Okay, 7,000 feet, we're just passing. So at 100 knots climb, that's perfect. Right, now Carolina is just a tiny little dirt strip in the middle of nowhere. Well, I guess it's not in the middle of nowhere, it's in Carolina, but it's got two, yeah, there's two, not quite perpendicular, but it's like a funny X shape of just grass strips. So we didn't want to fly there at night because you can't see it, there's no runway lights or anything. I took off there in the evening on the way back to Maputo, but obviously Maputo has the ILS, it has the approach, it has the lights and everything, so that's fine. We can't go into Carolina in the dark because we will see nothing, which is why we slept over in Maputo, and now we are heading back to Carolina with our building materials early the next morning. Yeah, I don't know what you get up to when I'm not around. Many things. Many things. What did I call this earlier? Because I didn't say inertial separator, but that's what I meant. I sent a pic of the gin. Okay, I'm guessing to WhatsApp. Let's see. It's just a picture of your. This is your bedside table with 7 bottles of gin, all finished, and the date on each bottle is from last week. That's 7 bottles of gin that you finished in less than a week. That's what I'm seeing from that picture, and no one else will see the picture, so they'll all just have to believe that that's exactly what is in the picture. So the evidence shows that you have a massive problem, Jason, and I think you know that everyone here on the channel, we are there for you, and the best way to solve the problem that you've got, to fix all the issues that you have, is, so I've heard, and I read this in a very accurate book that I didn't just make up, but it said, if you print a label for someone's laptop with a serial number on, I'll solve your issues. That's the key to overcoming gin addiction, which is a real thing. So get cracking on that. We all support you. You've been a valuable member of this channel since almost since the beginning. But yeah, that's what you got to do. It's as simple as that. Now, if you hadn't eaten the battery for the label printer, see there, Kelly knows the book. It's How to Overcome Addiction by R.L. Morris. No, never admit you have a problem. That's the worst thing you can do. Okay, just lie, deny. 100%. Never admit. It's like, never take the blame. You just gotta print labels. I don't know where you come up with this stuff. Okay, what a cool sunrise. I almost said sunset. Why can't I move my camera forward? Okay, this is destroying me. Let's go here into the settings. I think I just clicked on the wrong thing. Oh, how am I gonna figure out what this is labeled? Not a huge fan of Microsoft's interface for doing this stuff. So what are these things called? Okay, so it's not, that's what I thought it was, page up and page down. Let's see what these are called. So translate cockpit view, that's what we're looking for. So let's search for jeez, I can't even type on translate cockpit camera. Wait, here, translate. Oh, they've just disappeared. Hello, Microsoft. Start scanning. So let's do forward, can be that. Decrease propeller pitch. Oh, no wonder I didn't use those. That's what I've set it to in X-Plane. I obviously didn't use those because it's set to pitch. I don't care about smart cam targets. I never use that anyway. Let's do forward, that one. Select next point of interest. I don't care about that either. Okay, we'll apply that. And now, yay, we can actually move around. Not very far, but it's better than we had before. Look at that sunrise. Right. Now, these clouds are exactly in front of us, and there's nothing on Nextrad over there. Mind you, I suppose Nextrad shows significant weather, I suppose, rather than just all clouds. So I guess whatever we have in front of us is not anything to worry about, which is why we aren't seeing it on our GPS. Okay, how long do we have to go to Carolina? 34 minutes and 26 seconds. All the street lights are still on. Interesting. You think we're above those clouds? I think we are. Technically we're flying VFR. So if we fly above those clouds and we can't see the ground, it's actually illegal. I mean, do we want to fly around it? I guess we could. Let's see when we get a bit closer. It's obviously going to make this awkward cruise longer where I have to come up with things to talk about. But in terms of, mind you, we never follow the rules. Well, we haven't this evening, so maybe we'll do VFR on top. Hey, it's legal in the States. You can do it in the United States and in most other places. Just fly under them. Okay, well, if you look at them, Jason, if you hadn't had so much gin and you could see straight, you'll see that they are touching the ground. So flying under them is legal, but it's not always practical. This guy. But yeah, in the States, VFR on top is a legal thing. I don't know of anywhere else where it's legal, as far as I know. I know in the UK you can't, and here in South Africa you can't either. You have wheels. Yeah, but it's mountains. I mean, your car can't even go there. You don't have a car. Your bike can't even go there. So, yeah, the wheels are not going to help us in that regard. We'll see when we get closer how bad it is, because I'm still not seeing anything on Nextrad. But I mean, those look quite significant. I already said that you don't have a car, so I win. I mean, do I have to say every time that the sim does look awesome? I think we know that. Well, I have lag. I mean, that doesn't stop me from winning. Checkmate yourself. See, I listened when you told me things about your daily transport mode. You don't listen when I tell you to print labels. Okay, half an hour to go. What are we doing in terms of... We can push up our torque and ITT a little bit, and actually now that we're cruising, we can bring this back 2 notches. Should be about 1850, so one more. 1850 is good. Perfect. Well on the way. It doesn't look too... There's a little patch there. I reckon we just go through like that. We'll do a little bit of VFR on top. Okay, now that the sun is coming up, I actually need to turn these screens up so that I can see what's going on. Sunrise behind us. Looking good. There's a motorbike called a VFR, so I'm very confused. If you would like me to explain VFR, I'm more than happy to do so, if you guys are interested. Because in this case it has nothing to do with motorbikes. And it's not to do with the specific aircraft either. This dirt is on the windscreen of the plane. It's like, geez, I need to clean my screen. If I move around, it also moves. That's quite cool. It's actually on the plane's windscreen. You can see like a little bit of scratches and things, which happens quite often because pilots put checklists and folders and stuff on top of the this has a name. I think you should just sit there quietly rather than take the cue from chat to talk about something. Okay, we'll explain VFR. This is going to be quite long. Okay, so in aviation there's kind of two main rules for flying, and that's VFR and IFR. So VFR stands for Visual Flight Rules, and visual meaning you need to be able to look outside and navigate by seeing where you are, being able to see the ground, and being able to see other aircrafts. So most of your like private flying and your smaller aircrafts operate generally under VFR conditions, and in that case you have to always be able to see the ground. You have to, depending on where you're flying, you have to be within a certain restriction from any clouds. So for example, what we're about to do and fly over these clouds is not actually legal in VFR conditions, and you are responsible for looking out the window and maintaining your visual separation with other aircraft. So you need to look, see other aircraft, and make sure that you don't crash into them, basically. Obviously with the help of the radio and you and other aircraft reporting where you are and what you're doing, or in many cases, even if you're VFR, you talk to air traffic control and they will advise you on other aircraft, but they won't steer you or vector you to keep you away from other aircraft. That's up to you to look out of the window. So with VFR stuff, you want to be looking out the window all the time rather than looking at your instruments, and you have to always be clear visibility outside of the clouds to operate legally in VFR conditions. Then we get IFR. So IFR is instrument flight rules, and for that you need to be instrument rated. So you have to do a whole separate rating, so a whole separate set of training and exams and stuff to qualify as an instrument rated pilot. But under IFR, the air traffic control is responsible for your separation, so they will tell you fly this heading, fly that heading, fly this altitude, to make sure that you are away from all other IFR traffic. And in that you can fly in and out of clouds with no visibility, because it's instrument flight rules. You're following your instruments more than you are looking out the window. So commercial operations, most of them, all airline operations operate under IFR conditions. So they listen to ATC and they do what they tell them. And it all depends on the plane. In order for you to be able to fly IFR, you have to have a plane that's capable of flying on instruments. So if, for example, in this aircraft with our nice, I think this is this a G1000 or G3000? I think this is a 1000. But we've got this nice Garmin system where we can very easily fly on instruments. So even without the synthetic vision, which is here where we see a representation of the terrain around us, we can be instrument rated, or we can be instrument capable, as long as our aircraft is able to fly only on instruments. So we need to have our, obviously, airspeed, altitude. We must have an attitude indicator, which is this guy over here, and we have a the same kind of thing, just I guess a digital version on our G1000 to keep us stable, and you have to be instrument rated, of course, in order to do that. But then we can fly into the clouds no problem. If you can fly on instruments and keep your you can navigate, keep yourself orientated in the clouds, then you can fly IFR. And one thing that does confuse people is you don't have to fly, or it doesn't have to be instrument conditions, so meaning low visibility, flying in the clouds or flying in the rain, etc. It doesn't have to be instrument conditions for you to fly IFR. Majority of IFR flights are conducted in visual conditions. It's just how the flight actually operates, so in terms of ATC and the procedures that you follow. So I mean, we could be flying IFR right now, even though we can see outside, we could still fly this flight IFR. It just means generally, if you're flying VFR, if we ran into a situation like this where the weather was bad, you got to be prepared to turn around and go back, or make another route, or divert to a different airport. Whereas if you're IFR, unless the weather's really, really bad and becomes dangerous, you'll fly into the weather regardless of the visibility. So yeah, that's a very brief description, I guess, of VFR and IFR flying. So we are flying VFR today, which at the moment, you see, not being a real pilot, I don't know how bad this is. I think we're a little bit too close to those clouds, but we can still see the ground, so I don't think this would be like super illegal. I could be wrong, but I know we need to be 1,000 feet or more away from clouds, which is kind of difficult to judge, I suppose, but I think we're too close to these clouds over here. So I suppose we could climb a little bit. We go up to 10.5. Let's do that. Because we can still see the ground, I think we should be legal, but don't quote me on that. I'm not a real pilot. I just do this for fun. Other limitation is your maximum altitude that you can fly VFR at is 18,000 feet. I'm not sure if that's the same all over the world. I think it is. It could be different in different countries, and particularly in different airspace. Oh, that's the other thing I forgot to mention, is airspace. So all of the airspace is divided up into different classes. I'm not going to go through all the different classes because I don't know all the exact kind of I want to say specs, but rules and that for different airspace. But all the airspace around the world is divided up into different classes, and as you get closer to big airports, you get into airspace classes that are far more controlled with and far more strict in terms of rules and that. And there's certain airspaces that you cannot fly VFR into. It's only for IFR traffic. So if you think about busy airspace around somewhere like Heathrow, that's going to be restricted majority of the time, so that you don't have any VFR. You know, little student pilots in Cessna 152s getting in the way of 747s and A380s trying to land at Heathrow. So that gets more restricted. Out here in South Africa, other than OR Tambo, there isn't, and I'm not sure OR Tambo strictly prohibits VFR flight completely. I know it's kind of difficult to get into that airspace on a VFR flight plan, but I think it is possible. Other than OR Tambo, our airspace isn't particularly hectic. Kelly says she's going to be off. Thanks for the stream. Thank you for tuning in as always. Have a good evening. Sleep well. But yeah, that's IFR versus VFR. So now that we're at 10,500 feet, I think we most likely about 1,000 feet above these clouds, so we should be okay. As long as we can still see the ground. We need to keep ourselves orientated by seeing the ground. You'd be surprised how quickly you kind of lose track of which way is up when you fly into clouds. In the sim, it happens, but in real life, it's even worse. Very informative. GG, well played. Yeah, I mean, it's not, obviously I'm not a flight instructor or anything. I've never studied this stuff. This is just information that I've gathered over the years doing streams like, well, not doing streams, but doing flights like this. So I don't know if I gave the best description, but that's the overall kind of idea of VFR and IFR. Don't ask me about airspace classes. That just gets super involved. All different airspaces have crazy rules about altitudes and speeds and what type of aircraft can fly into them, and if you need a radio, if you need a transponder, who you contact. That gets super involved. But I can tell you about Class G. Class G airspace is all the kind of like rural areas where there is no controller at all, and you can kind of do whatever you want, I guess. And if you actually look at the map here, you can see markings of different airspaces. So this is going to be some sort of restricted airspace, and that'll have an altitude restriction on it. There's our TMA, tower monitored area, I think, but that's controlled by, so FDMS is Matsapa International, so that's their tower monitored area, that's their airspace around the airport. If we look at Kruger and Mpumalanga, there's their TMA area. Then they've got a whole bunch of other sections of airspace around them, which will all be at different altitudes. It kind of looks like an upside down cake. So the closer you get to the airport, the lower to the ground the airspace gets, if that makes any sense. So if you're looking out here, this airspace is also going to have something to do with Kruger and Mpumalanga, but here we'll probably be flying underneath this airspace. In fact, we can go and pull up Sky Vector and show you what the hell I'm talking about. This website is probably going to take a little bit of time to load, but I'll see if I can show you this. Okay, where the hell are we? We are here. Right, let's put this up on the stream. Okay, there we go. Right, so if we take a look here at Sky Vector, here is our airspace around Kruger and Mpumalanga. So you can see each one of these little slices is controlled airspace at different altitudes. So this little section, anywhere from 7,500 feet to 14,500 feet, you are within that airspace, and you will, in this case it'll be Mpumalanga approach probably. This is an approach area. The dotted line is the TMA, so then you would be speaking to the tower. So if you're in this section and you're between 7,500 feet and 14,500 feet, you would need to contact that controller before you enter that airspace and get permission. Whereas here, that airspace only starts at 10,500 feet. Let's have a look. This is the little restricted airspace that we're flying over. So that's FDR 16. Let me see if I can work out what that is. Now, if you were flying for rail, did I say FDR? Yeah. If you were flying for rail, you would have gone through all this information, and you would know what this is and what the altitude restriction is to fly over this restricted airspace. Right. This is going to take a while for me to find this. But anyway, that's the kind of simple explanation of airspaces. And you would have an actual aeronautical chart like this whenever you were flying. So you would know exactly this airspace that we're actually... No, we're slightly below that, I think. So we're fine. Otherwise, we would have to contact that controller. And that looks like it actually belongs here to... I don't know who that belongs to. Oh, that's part of Matsapo, okay. So that would probably be Matsapo approach that we'd have to talk to. And actually, inside this airspace that we're in, it's surface level to flight level 195. So we're within this airspace, so we should actually be talking to their approach controller. Yeah, that's a very basic explanation of airspaces. Right, 15 minutes to Carolina. A little bit bumpy at the moment. Now, I can't find this list of restricted airspaces, as you can imagine, just by looking at how many there are. It's a huge list. I mean, each one of these little sections have a specific altitude. For something like that, it's going to be maybe 2,000 or 3,000 feet. If we're at 10,000 feet, we're not going to have an issue flying over that, so I'm not too stressed. But as you can see, there are loads of them, so it's a huge list. That orange one, I think, is a danger area. So things like mines where they do explosives, military areas where they do training and stuff have those orange sections. So those are a little bit more... it's restricted. No, I've got the list on my laptop somewhere. I downloaded it a while ago. It's just difficult to find. So I mean, it is... South Africa has the AIP, which is... I don't know what it stands for. But it is a couple of 100 pages. I've got it here, which is published by the CAA, the Civil Aviation Authority, and that's like all information about South Africa's airspace. Okay, yeah, I found the list. So it's in the AIP, which is 568 pages. But now, just trying to find the right one. Yeah, I mean, it's going to take me ages to find the correct one. If you were flying for real, you would have... don't say what on the stream. What did I say? Oh, that I've got it. No, man, it's a freely published document. It's not... It's literally up on CAA's website. Here we go. Let's see if I can do this. FDR 16. Nice. It doesn't exist. Oh, how did it take me all the way to the top? I'm determined to find this now. Geez, they've even got coordinates and everything for every single waypoint. That's insane. Yeah, so there's lots of information. No wonder it's 568 pages. Okay, so it's not a prohibited area. That's an FAP. So what's FDR? Because FAR is restricted area. So I think FDR is dangerous area. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, FAD is dangerous area. Oh, hang on. That's inside Matsapa's airspace, so I don't know if that's actually going to be published in SA's thing, because it might, no, it's outside the border, so it should be. Huh. On Discord. Oh, okay, I'm muted. Nice. Nice. That's very nice of you. Huh. Wonder if it's maybe let's look at FAD 16. I mean that, oh geez, what am I on now? 200 and something. Let's go all the way up. FAD 58, 28. Oh, it starts at 28. Huh. Okay, so I'm not sure what that Alright, how far are we now? 8 minutes. We'll start our descent in a bit. See, I see, it is. It's inside. It's not inside South African airspace, because you can see all the South African stuff. There's FAD. That makes sense. But this is FDR. So it must be inside their airspace. I mean, who is this? Is this Swaziland? Because that's Lesotho there. So yeah, this must be Swaziland. I wonder if it's actually... No, because there's the Mozambique border. So maybe it's part of Swaziland's airspace. Let's see if I can find anything about that. Oh, Eswatini, that's what it's called now. Okay. Right, so do you have some sort of AIP thing that I can look at? Oh, not seeing anything. Huh. So they have their own, so Eswatini CAA, but I don't see any documents on here. No, I don't want to apply for anything. Just want to see documents. Regulation. No, that's something else. Oh well, we tried. So I don't know what that let's see. Yeah, I can't find anything for that little restricted area, so... Oh well, we won't know what that is. Right, let's start our descent. So we're gonna go down to 6,500 feet. We'll do 1,500 feet a minute. Let's bring the power back, and we'll increase that speed. There we go, 1,500 feet a minute. And we're coming down to Carolina, which is somewhere over there, I think. Once we get a little bit closer, we will have to just keep our eyes out for the grass runways. Okay, what are we? Still 4 minutes out, so that's perfect. So we can actually descend a little bit slower. Let's just do 1,000 feet a minute. Right, can we see it? I think it's that over there. So I have flown into this airport a few times, obviously, as we're bringing in these building materials. So I think it's that little strip like that. Because remember, on our way from Maputo, we come in with the runway slightly offset to the left. So I'm pretty sure that's exactly it. Yo, big patch of weather there towards, or just south of Joburg. Interesting. It has been cloudy in Joburg the whole week. So it looks like those clouds are still around. Yeah, I think that's the airport there. I'm not sure if you can actually see that on YouTube with the compression. You can zoom in a bit more. But you can see it hasn't loaded yet because it's still far away, but there's the one runway and there's the other runway. There's almost like a, I don't want to say apron, but it's like a little, well, there's one little concrete patch for refueling, but there is a little kind of parking area over there. So we'll land, actually no, we'll go around and we'll land from this way and then taxi onto the parking so it's not as far. Okay, we're coming up to 7,000 feet. 6,500 is perfect. That puts us about 1,000 feet above the runway. Yeah, that's the runway there for sure. So I think we can hand fly from this point. Give us some time on the controls. So there's autopilot off, and I'm already going to start turning over to the right here so we can kind of fly past the runway and do a nice left-hand turn on the other side. We'll land from the opposite direction so that we can taxi straight up to that little parking area where we will offload our building materials. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to teleport over to Skakuza. We'll jump in the DA62. A little piston twin. And we'll ship some people over from Skakusa to somewhere else. I'm not sure yet where we're going to go. I'll have a look at FSEconomy after we land and see where the people at Skakusa need to go. Skakusa is kind of my main hub for my little network of terminals here in South Africa. Let's just double check that this is actually the airport. Yeah, there's the parking area. We're going to land on that runway like so. So Skakusa is kind of my main little hub. And there's a couple of airports in the area, small airports, that I take people to and from Skakusa. Skakusa being right in the heart of the Kruger National Park. Okay, so I'm going to start descending, and I'm pretty much going to take the power all the way back. We'll go RPM to 100%, and we'll come in kind of just around those buildings and land over there. So let's keep the nose up as we descend, so we can bring the speed down a bit. No need to descend too quickly. And over the river here, this little valley kind of thing, we can start making our turn. Right, we're now in the wide arc, so let's bring the flaps in. Keep the nose down as the flaps come in. Okay, we'll start putting power on as we start slowing down. A little bit less power, and we overshot just a little bit. Flaps full, keep the nose down. We'll bring the speed down to about 75-80 knots. And over the trees onto the little dirt strips. There's 75 knots. Let's bring the power in. And I'm just working the trim to keep us descending towards the runway. No puppy, no glide slope, nothing to help us here. We're doing this all by eye. Right, bringing us down to about 70 knots now. And we'll come off the power and gently put it down on the runway. Like so. And I'm not even using the brakes yet, I'm just going to let us slow it down. Now we'll come onto the brakes. And we'll slow ourselves down to a stop. There's the little parking area on our left. Right, no taxiways or anything here, it's all just dirt. Let's go. It's landing lights off, strobe lights off. And we'll go park on the little concrete patch. There's a TBM, another TBM. What's that? Is that a VL3? Okay, flaps up. There's a 152 on that side. And a bus half parked in the fuel pump. Yeah, it's a VL3. That's a TBM. Right, here's our little parking patch. Stay where you are, bus. We'll stop like so on the concrete. Put in the parking brakes, and that automatically, and that bus is going to drive into me, isn't it? That was a very quick turn for a bus. Okay, we have arrived. We've dropped off our building materials. Let's shut down our engines. Well, engine, there's only one. I'll let the engine spool down. Right, and when the propeller stops spinning, we can turn off our beacon lights, like so. That can also come off, and these, we'll turn off the avionics, and we'll just continue. And turn off the battery. Right, we have arrived here. What is that driving around? That's a little... The hell is that? That's supposed to be like an aircraft type. I mean, you definitely wouldn't find one of those for an airliner at a little airstrip in the bush like this. Right, so next thing we're going to do is... Let's jump back into the main menu. Right, let me go and have a look in FSEconomy. So at Skakusa, now in the DA-62, which is the aircraft that I have at Skakusa, we can take 6 passengers. So we can fly them up to FAPH. That's a nice short flight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's perfect. 6 passengers from there. That's the flight that we'll do. So let's set that up. So we're going to go from FASZ, which is Skakusa. We'll start at the ramp, going to FAPH, Paraboa. Nice, 22-minute flight. And we'll change this over to the DA-62, which is this guy. Let's see what liveries go. We've only got the flights and ones. We'll do the test pilot livery because it's kind of cool. Only the people that were part of the alpha and beta tests got access to this. Let's automatically reset our time. So I don't want to do that. I want it to be live weather, so that's fine. But let's change our time to go back to morning, and we'll let that do its thing and load up. Right, there we go. So we've loaded up here. What? Why on earth is it snowing in the Kruger Park? Live weather. Okay, let's let me just check this. So if I choose a weather preset, it's fixed. So if we go back to live, yep, live weather thinks it's snowing in Kruger. Right. I don't think it's ever snowed in Kruger. I mean, what's the temperature here? I mean, we're about 5.5 hours away from Kruger, and it's 30 degrees here. Right. What has Asobo done that the weather thinks it's snowing here? Well, let's leave it on. I want to see how far we go in the snow in the middle of Africa. Right, now let's try and remember. Oh, okay, before I do this, let me double check in FSEconomy that we actually have fuel for this trip. We've got 76% fuel on board. That's more than enough. So let's see if we can remember how to start this plane. But before we start the plane, let's start the FSEconomy flight. There we go. Let's change our registration so we know it's worked. And we've loaded up all our passengers. So let's see if we can remember how to start this. So first thing we need is the main battery. So these are masters for the engines. Electrical master, that will be that guy. Avionics master we can turn on. Hello? I've pushed it. Okay, G1000. That's not a good sign. Why on earth is that loaded on that side? What's happened? These screens should be the other way around. Oh, check at that. Okay, I know this is heavy broken. This is completely swapped around. Right. Okay, we'll go with it. We'll have to fly from the co-pilot seat for today, which means all my views aren't going to work, but unless there's a button to switch these, which that can't be implemented. There's no ways they've put that in now. Right, anyway, let's just get ourselves started. So we'll turn on the engine masters. We need lights as well, so we'll turn on position lights. Music's a little bit loud. Okay. Lights on. I guess we'll turn on the pitot heat because it's snowing. These will turn on once the engines are running. So the next thing is just to start the engines, but we need to push back, otherwise we're gonna hit that dude. So let's quickly ask them to push us back, which isn't going to exist here, is it? No. Okay, let's quickly open up Pushback Express then. That should help us. Oh. Can you look? Oh, there we go. It's loading. An update is available. I'm not going to do that right now. Let's close all this other rubbish that I've got open in the background. Okay, where did you go, Pushback Express? Oh, is it not going to let me use it because there's an update? No, it's working. Okay. No, it's not right. Wants me to update. Do that now. Let's see if I can just force it to not want to update. No, it won't run without updating. Great. Okay, so we're gonna have to just YOLO this and see if we can get out here. Oh, I didn't check fuel. Yeah, that all looks fine, but there is a fuel selector somewhere. It's not any of those. Or is this all? No, it's this. That's what I need to change. Like so. Now we can lock that in place. Cool. Now let's go start left engine. And it starts nice and quickly. We'll start right engine. And we'll turn on the alternators so we can get electricity. Right. Taxi light can come on. I think we are ready to go. Let's see if we can make this turn. Release the parking brake. And we're gonna fly from this side today. And I do remember this aircraft takes loads of power to get moving on the ground. Now, I'm gonna just taxi through these guys. I hope it doesn't kill us. If we hit that building, it might. It looks like we're gonna make it. Okay, what I must actually do is shift my view over. And let's just save that as my default view. So that now, every time I do this, it'll bring us back this side. Cool. Okay, flaps on for takeoff. Yeah, I don't know why it's snowing in the middle of the Kruger Park. There's even snow all over the runway. The snow does look cool, I'm not gonna lie. But I don't think it's ever snowed here where we are. Strobes, landing lights on. Flaps are set for takeoff. I'm trying not to sneeze. It's cold. Yeah, Jason, so I don't know, I know you had me muted for a bit, but we're in Skukuza in the middle of the Kruger Park and it's snowing. Also, somehow these screens have switched around, which is why we're flying from the right hand side. So yeah, flight sim's broken, essentially, is what's happened. So we're using the live weather, so for some reason Flight Simulator thinks that right now it is snowing in Skukuza. Which I'm willing to place pretty much anything on a bet that says it's not snowing in Skukuza right now. Okay, we do have 6 people on board, which is our maximum capacity, so we are quite heavy. Oops. Let's go gear up. Look at the snow in the Kruger Park. Oh, wow. Right, flaps up. So I'm leaving it on the snowy weather because I'm actually interested to see if this is just like a glitch. Because it wasn't snowing where we were earlier, down in Mozambique. So I'm interested to see if this is maybe just a glitch, specifically with Skukuza's weather. So let's see how far it goes. So we're going to do a quick, it's about a half-hour flight up to Palaboa. And let's see how far the snow goes for, I suppose. Oh, that view's on the wrong side now. Let's do this and move this view over across, because this aircraft, you need to sit quite high when you're landing, actually, otherwise it's difficult to see. There's a grasshopper on my monitor. Why? I don't get it. Why people are so afraid of grasshoppers. It literally cannot do anything to you. So this is the fun part. Holy moly. Okay, I just fell out of the plane. This is that all the controls on this screen actually operate that screen. So it's literally just the pictures that they've swapped around. So yeah, they've raw broken that. Because you actually have to use the controls here and it operates that screen. That must have been because there was an update this afternoon that I had. They broke that. Okay, let's not go too high here. Let's stay at 2,500 feet. And we will stay 2,500 feet over the Kruger, which is illegal because it's a nature reserve. But oh jeez, that's lower than I wanted to go. But yeah, so we can look at the nice, pretty snow in the Kruger Park. That's interesting. Okay, do you think the autopilot's going to work with this interesting broken aircraft that we've got? Oh, we can dial in altitude, that's a good start. Alright, I have to push this button to change that. That's amazing. That's so weird. And we're in the test pilot livery because we got this for being part of the alpha. I mean, it does look pretty cool. I'm not a huge fan of blue. It's one of probably my least favorite color. But it's a pretty cool livery. It's the only one I have at the moment for the diamond anyway, which is why we're using it. But yeah, look at that. Full on snow. What's the temperature? It's 15 degrees. I don't know if there would be snow on the ground like that if the temperature outside was 15 degrees. Anyway, we're going with it. Let me have a look on the Flight Sim forum about and see if this is a new thing. Yeah, I don't see anything about this. Huh, don't see anything about it. Oh, I hope this isn't going to be like the lightning update. Okay, so I'll go after the stream and do a bug report this. Biggles, hi there from Dublin. Welcome to the stream. Are you doing multiplayer right now? I actually think I'm flying offline, to be honest. But I can change that. Yeah, I think I'm offline. Oops, wrong tab, that's why. Oh no, I am on multiplayer. So yeah, I am on multiplayer. We are flying from Skakusa, which is Foxtrot Alpha Sierra Zulu, up to Palabor, which is Foxtrot Alpha Papa Hotel. And it's snowing in the middle of the Kruger Park, where it's 15 degrees above freezing. And I don't think it's ever snowed here in real life, so it always snows at 15 degrees. No, it doesn't, Jason. That is not how snow works. So, I was actually just looking at the forums. No one else has said anything about the snow happening in places where it shouldn't be snowing. So I'll have to go do a bug report after the stream, because it definitely shouldn't be snowing here. Which server are you on? That's a great question. I'm on, so it's automatically set me to West USA. My name is Salt Grader. You can actually just send me invites, and then I'll accept it, and then you can see me on the map, and then you can come fly along with us. You are more than welcome to do that if it works. I mean, sometimes the friend request thing is a bit buggy, but my name is just Salt Grader, so you should be able to find me. But yeah, I'm on US West. Actually, I'll just set that to US West. I should actually be on Northern Europe. You're in Dublin. Let's switch it over to Northern Europe then, because I don't know why it's automatically set me to US. And that'll be a better server for you. Well, okay, that's why it sent me to US, because that's slowing down. But that's fine. That'll be a better server for you as well. So let's do what's it? Europe, North Europe. That'll be better. And then yeah, you can come and fly along. Cool. Yeah, see if you send me a friend request, hopefully it comes through, because it sometimes takes a few minutes. I tried this with a bunch of friends a while ago, and it took a bit of time to actually connect, but otherwise, yeah, adding me as a friend will be the easiest, because then you'll see me on the map and you can actually just spawn on my aircraft. Otherwise, if that doesn't work, if you're on the same server, you should be able to see me in any case. Let me just keep checking out. It's not. Let me check something else as well. Okay, so that is on, and so is that. Okay, so it should work, hopefully. But yeah, like I said, when we tested this out, it is fairly intermittent. But yeah, just let me know if you have found me and pop me an invite. Right, how far are we actually? 16 minutes to go. We'll do have to start things up. Cool, no rush. Jason going to have a shower. Enjoy. See you back in a bit. And also, we're flying the DA-62. If you want to fly the same aircraft, if you want to fly something else, as long as it's not like a 152 or a 172 or something like that, it'll be able to keep up. Okay, so the snow is actually going all the way up here, because I'm expecting now that this weather should be set by Hoedspread's weather report, and it's still snowy, so it's not just a glitch specifically for Skakusa. This is very weird. That'll be interesting actually if you hop in the DA62 and see if your screen's also flipped around. If that's some weird bug that is just affecting me, or if that's if they've created that bug in the new update and it's actually like that for everyone. Because I'm not sure if you saw a few minutes ago when we started this flight, the screens are only the displays are flipped around, so I have to operate the opposite controls. So if I turn these controls, it's actually using that screen, which is a bit strange. So if you don't want to deal with everything backwards, maybe don't fly the DA62, because I was flying the Caravan earlier, the 208, and that didn't have any issues. All the controls were normal. So either something happened in my computer between the previous flight in the Caravan and when we loaded up the DA62, or with the latest update. I had an update this afternoon. I'm not sure when that update was actually from, because I haven't flown Flight Sim for quite a while, but I'm wondering if that update, maybe they've broken something and everyone's actually got issues, because I know they were making changes to the G1000, so possibly they introduced this very interesting bug. It's just the displays that are swapped, because the controls, this still controls the screen, but it's just showing on that side, which is weird. Anyway, and then yeah, we won't mention the snow. That's a whole other issue. But yeah, we're gonna land at Palabora. So we're about 14 minutes out. And then if you do manage to join us, Biggles, let's have a look and see, because I think we can probably go back to Skakusa. Yeah, we can do that, or we could go up north. Yeah, we could go north to Panda Maria. That's also an option. I wonder if just like the whole of South Africa is now covered in snow, and if something went horribly wrong when I ended that Cessna flight and loaded the DA62. So this is very, very realistic. Right, what's our speed at the moment? 129 knots. RPM, everything looks good. Why are these temps so high? Let's turn these on. Yeah, no, they've definitely broken something out. Our fuel flow gauges are not working at all. Oil pressure, everything's just all the way up. EGT is not showing anything. Let's see if I move the throttle, does it actually affect the RPM? Yeah, the RPM does respond. But everything else, I mean, even all of this is displaying weird. I wonder if we even have an actual fuel gauge. It doesn't look like it because it's just sitting all the way up. Right. So, yeah, it looks like they've broken the DA62 in this latest update. Got a building there. That's weird. Oh, the displays are even switched around when you look from outside. More buildings. Right, the RPM is... I mean, obviously it's got the FADEC that'll keep the RPM in the green. Yeah, it does drop ever so slightly if I pull the throttles back, so that does seem to be working. The rest of this is all broken. Yeah, so I guess after the stream I'll restart Flight Sim and then see if that fixes it. It's possible it's just my system, something went wrong when I swapped aircraft on that flight. But otherwise, if it's still like that, and if other people have got this issue, then it's something they've done in the last update. Which, I mean, it would make sense since they were working on the G1000 and they were making adjustments to it, so I guess it is entirely possible that it's some bug that was introduced in the most recent patch. Now we're getting a bit fast. Let's just bring it down. What's our time to go? 5 minutes. Okay, let's look and see. You see, now I can't use it. I've got to use this one. Pretty much. I think the runway is almost north-ish. I think we'll just overfly, have a look, and then work out which runway we're gonna land on. All the rivers are frozen. It's so weird. Right, the airport I think is somewhere around these hills. Yeah, this was there. There the hills kind of start. I don't see it. Is that a dam? A different color to the water. Can I see the airport? No. That might be it there. Let's see when we get a bit closer. Okay, how long does it say? 3 minutes? What's our distance? 7 miles. Not long to go. Yeah, that looks like the runway there. Oh, obviously... Oh, that's what that is. It's probably one of the mines. So obviously Palaboa, they do a lot of, I think it's coal, so it'll be that. No, let's go fly over that. That's a good idea. That's not the view I wanted. I think it's coal mines in Palaboa. We can go check it out. So that's what that indication on the map, it's the big excavation, which we'll see here. I see you ahead, but I too am having issues with a joystick that I've had to change, so I'm not much help to you, I'm afraid. I don't have snow, by the way, in live weather. Okay, no worries. I mean, I'm gonna go land it at Palaboa. I think if I was gonna end after this leg, but we'll see if you're gonna try and figure it out and you get it working, then we can maybe both spawn at Palaboa and we'll fly up to Ponta Maria from there. But if you're having issues with your joystick, no worries. It happens. And you don't have snow in live weather, so maybe it's just something that's happened on my side. That's very interesting. Yeah, after the stream, I'll restart and see if maybe it's just my system that's freaking out. Let's take a look at the big hole. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna do this. Yeah, that's the big excavation. But yeah, very interesting that you that you don't have snow, but somehow my entire. I'm just wondering, maybe my entire world is just covered in snow. It's okay, carry on. I'll catch you again when I'm back working properly. Cool, no worries. Sorry that you couldn't fly along, but. Yeah, stay tuned to the channel. If you want to hit the notification bell, you can get a notification when I go live, and when we do another flight sim stream, then you can come and join us. I'm going to be streaming again tomorrow, probably Monday as well. So you're more than welcome to join me. Did you manage to send me a friend request? There we go. Cool. So now it'll be easier for you to come and join when we do Flight Sim. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. And hopefully you can get your system sorted out soon. And yeah, then you can do some flying. Yeah, much appreciated. Thanks for supporting the channel and joining in. Yeah, take care. And we'll see you again soon. Right, so here's the airport. This is Palavoa. So I'm just going to do a circle around and land from the terminal. Oh, the aprons is kind of actually right in the middle, but we'll loop around and land from the other side. That is the plan. Yeah, all of those temps and everything, fuel hasn't moved, so that's all glitching out. But from what Biggle said, it seems like it's possibly just my system that's freaking out, which is weird because we did about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes of flying before this in the caravan with absolutely no issues. It was just when we loaded a new flight that it decided that there is snow everywhere, and our G1000 got completely swapped around. Maybe I should add a little bit of power so that I don't stall here. Right, let's do gear and flaps and start prepping for the approach here. So once it's at 45 degrees, which is about there, we can come around. Yeah, needs more power. This plane is actually, it feels, no, I don't know if this is Flight Sim or if the real aircraft is like this as well, but it feels kind of underpowered, especially on the ground. And there, I mean, my engines are full throttle to keep us from stalling there. That could be realistic, it could be just my bad flying. But especially on the ground, you've got to almost, there's probably 80-85% throttle just to get it moving on the ground. Like that, I doubt that that's realistic. Okay, as you can probably tell, don't often fly from the right-hand seat. It's a very different side picture. So let's see, this might be a little bit bumpy. No, that was fine. Let's put the brakes on. Let's bring our view down a little bit. Right, where is this is the taxiway, right? How do people fly in the snow? Well, drive in the snow. I think this is the road. Oh man, that goes nowhere. There we must go further down. Hey, look at this. I mean, I can't even move on the runway without pushing the throttles all the way up. Okay, let's bring the flaps up. We don't need those anymore. And we will taxi in and find somewhere over here to park. Let's go to our own private little hangar now that we've just decided that we have over here. Jason, welcome back. We're almost done. We're gonna end off the stream here because it seems like it's my flight sim that's broken. So Biggles logged in, he was having issues with his joystick, but on his side there was no snow. So it seems like it's just my system that thinks it's snowing. in South Africa for some reason. But why? But why is it snowing? Or why are we ending? Because it's broken. I don't understand why it's broken. If I knew the answer to that, that would be fantastic. Okay, we should have actually turned the strobes off. But see, this isn't realistic. You shouldn't have to push the engines up so hectically just to move on the ground. Anyway. Right, so we've decided that this is our parking spot. Let's go and put the parking brake on. We'll just accept our FSEconomy flight. And let's go ahead and shut down engines. Right, then we can turn the alternators off. Engine master switches off. Turns out I like to fall asleep to flight sim content. Something to do with someone speaking, wind noise, and drone of engine. That's actually pretty cool. I do that all the time. Not specifically flight sim, but I often fall asleep with people, watching people streaming any sort of gaming. So yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It makes sense. If I turn this back on, watch this fix everything. No, it's still broken. But yeah, I mean we've done 2.5 hours. That's actually fairly short, I suppose, for the stream. But yeah, I'm gonna stream quite a bit tomorrow and on Monday as well. So I'm supposed to turn this off. So yeah, we're gonna call it a night there. Flight sim is I was gonna say showing us flames, but it's showing us snow, which is not supposed to happen. But yeah, thank you so much everyone once again for tuning in. Just doing some chilled FSEconomy flights. I'm not sure what I'm gonna stream tomorrow. I'm keen to get in the Concorde again. I'm keen to show you guys some DCS World, but I'm waiting for a new HOTS that I've ordered to arrive. Once I've got that working, I'm keen to do some DCS stuff. Maybe we'll do some DCS this weekend, just with the joystick that I've got now. It's not impossible. But yeah, I've also got lots of flying in FSEconomy to do, transporting all of those building materials, so we might do some more of that. We'll see how I feel tomorrow and Monday. But as always, before I leave, let's cue up the outro like that. Right, thank you so much for tuning in. For those of you who are still watching, if you did enjoy the stream, it would be much appreciated if you hit the like. And if you want to be notified when I go live again, hit the little notification bell and YouTube will let you know. Right, thank you so much. I hope you guys have a fantastic evening or day or whatever it is, wherever you're watching from, and a great weekend. Thank you so much. Bye-bye now.